People can be cruel, can't they? Their jealousy, fear, and bitterness wrap around their souls like chains, making them desperate to destroy anyone who dares to shine brighter than their dull existence. When they sent death to your door, it wasn't just to end your story. It was to erase the very idea of you. They wanted you gone, forgotten, wiped away like a name in the sand, washed clean by the tide. Death came shrouded in shadow, armed with the tools to snuff out your light. But what they didn't account for was that you weren't a flickering flame, easily extinguished. You were a raging inferno, because life has this twisted sense of humor. It doesn't reveal who people truly are when things are calm and easy. No, life strips away their masks when the stakes are high. When you rise, when you climb, when you thrive. That's when their true colors show. They don't clap for you. They plot against you. They'd rather see you broken, shattered, lying in a heap of despair, because your success reflects their failure. But here's where the story shifts. Death didn't just see a victim when it arrived. No, death saw your scars, not as wounds to exploit, but as medals of honor. Each scar told a tale, battles fought, demons faced. Nights where you stared into the abyss and refused to let it consume you. They thought death would find a fragile, breakable thing, but instead, it found resilience personified. You were a storm too wild to tame, a flame too fierce to smother. They sent death to end you, but death hesitated. For the first time, it saw not just a target but a force of nature, a tempest wrapped in human form. Why do you think they sent death in the first place? Was it fear of your power, envy of your strength? A desperate need to control what they could never understand? It doesn't matter. What matters is, they underestimated you. They thought a single strike could silence the symphony of your story, but you're not just a song. They couldn't cut you off. You are an entire orchestra, playing louder with every note of defiance, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every loss. They thought those moments would break you. Instead, you turned them into bricks, building a foundation so unshakable that even death itself could not topple it. Death was sent to erase you, but instead, it witnessed something it couldn't comprehend. You didn't just survive. You thrived. The weapons forged to destroy you, you turned them into tools of your own making. The pain they inflicted, you wore it as armor. The chains they wrapped around your spirit, you shattered them and walked forward unbound. And here's the darkest truth. When they sent death, they didn't just awaken chaos. They summoned something primal, something untouchable. Because chaos doesn't destroy, it transforms. It reshapes the ordinary into the extraordinary, and that's exactly what you are. Extraordinary. Death, trained to see only the end, became a spectator to your rebirth. It expected fear, but found freedom. It looked into your eyes and saw something unbroken, unyielding, something that didn't just laugh in the face of doom, but dared it to try again. They sent death because they couldn't handle your fire. You disrupted their narratives, challenged their mediocrity, reminded them of everything they could never be. That's why they hate you. That's why they fear you. Because you don't fit into their box. You don't conform to their rules. You are the chaos they can't contain, the light they can't extinguish, the storm they can't outrun. So now, what will you do? Will you let their attempts to destroy you define you? Or will you rise, unapologetic and relentless, showing them what it truly means to live without limits? Remember this: every time they send death, every time they scheme, every time they try to break you, They only reveal their weakness and your strength. Their failure becomes your legend. Their hatred fuels your fire. Because you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You are the fire they fear, the chaos they'll never tame, the force they will never stop. Let them send their shadows, their whispers, their fears wrapped in flesh. Because we live in a time where the criminals run the world. And the rest of us? We're just spectators watching the madness unfold. The ones in power aren't the righteous, not the noble, not the fair. No, the ones calling the shots are the ones who refuse to be broken. The freaks, the monsters, the felons. Society tried to bury them, but they clawed their way back up. They used fear as a weapon, turned prejudice into a blade, twisted justice until it bent in their favor. They weren't born into power. They took it. Every enemy that rose against them. Every assassin sent to silence them. Every so-called righteous man who stood in their way, they crushed them, or worse, turned them into pawns. They didn't complain about the rules being unfair. They wrote them. Because that's the truth no one wants to admit. Success isn't for the weak. It's not handed to the timid, the hesitant, or the ones waiting for permission. It's taken by those willing to get their hands dirty, by those who step into the darkness and own it. The world isn't kind. It doesn't reward goodness. It rewards strength, power, the will to do what others are too afraid to even consider. You don't win by playing. You win by playing smart. And in an unfair world, there's only one question that matters. How far are you willing to go? But that's just the beginning. People love to pretend they want fairness, that they want a world where everyone gets what they deserve. But deep down, they don't respect fairness. They respect power. They admire the ones who take what they want. The ones who move without fear. The ones who break the chains of morality when it serves them. The weak? They sit around waiting for justice, hoping someone somewhere will come and make things right. But the strong? They don't wait. They don't beg. They don't hope. They act. They take risks. They embrace the struggle. And they carve their names into history with blood, sweat, and fire. Look at the ones who hold real power. The billionaires, the warlords, the politicians, the crime bosses. Do you think they got there by following the rules? By being nice? No. They built their empires on the backs of those too afraid to fight back. They manipulated. They outsmarted. They dominated. And when the dust settled, they stood at the top, while the rest fell to their knees. And the world? It let them, because at the end of the day, people don't remember the ones who played it safe. They remember the ones who took control, who left their mark by any means necessary. So ask yourself, are you a spectator? Watching from the sidelines as others shape the world? Or are you ready to step into the fire, to take what's yours, to become the kind of person people fear, respect, and obey? Because in this world, only one truth matters: power isn't given. It's taken. They were supposed to be buried, erased, forgotten. Death itself reached for them. Sent assassins, sent betrayals, sent the kind of agony that turns most people into ghosts before they even stop breathing. But they didn't just survive. They conquered. They marched through the gates of hell, torn, bloody, but unbroken. And when they emerged from the depths of Hades, they weren't the same. They didn't crawl back. They rode out, gripping the reins of a two-headed beast, eyes burning like fire, flesh carved by battle, hardened into something untouchable. Monsters? Maybe. Beasts, absolutely, but kings and queens without a doubt. Because only those willing to dance with death, to laugh in its face, to spit back at fate, earn the right to wear the crown. See? Life doesn't hand you respect. It doesn't gift you power. It dares you to take it. You have to grab it by the throat, sink your teeth into it, and make it scream your name. You have to let the world know, no bullet, no betrayal, no enemy in the shadows can stop you. So next time you see death lurking, don't run, don't beg, take out your blade, carve out its eyes and whisper, "You don't control my destiny." Because I do. Because I danced with fate, and I won. Because I am not just a survivor, I am a beast, a monster, a king, a queen, a joker. I am the chaos that can't be tamed, the fire that refuses to burn out, the storm that lasts beyond destruction. They will try to break me, they will try to chain me, but the truth, they fear me, because they know I am unstoppable. And in a world ruled by the ruthless, by the fearless, by the ones who refuse to kneel, we take what's ours. Because in the end, only two kinds of people exist: the ones who bow, and the ones who take the throne. So ask yourself, which one are you? And oh yeah, if this hit deep, subscribe to my free newsletter. Drop a joker in the comments if you feel this, like, comment, subscribe, and tell Batman I said hello.